Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this special professional development webinar regarding the overview of National Apprenticeship Week, specifically focused on what the state is going to be doing and outreach materials and resources for you all to use in your local areas in order to help us promote National Apprenticeship Week and the 10th anniversary this year. My name is Kirsten Bayer, and I'm with the Illinois Center for Specialized Professional Support at Illinois State University. I'm the Assistant Director of Communications at the center. I also am the lead support staff on the Apprenticeship Marketing Work Group, whose main charge is National Apprenticeship Week, or one of our main charges. And I'll let Tony touch on that a little bit further. We're going to dive right into the agenda for today's webinar. We're going to be discussing just the Apprenticeship Illinois Committee, specifically the marketing work group, and kind of our role in helping prep and plan National Apprenticeship Week for the state. We will talk about the 10th anniversary and kind of what that entails. And then we will, discuss the 2023 National Apprenticeship Week recap, the IWIB events that we're going to be having at the state level, and then how to find and add events, how to find and add proclamations for your local areas. We're going to be discussing social media and a social media toolkit that you can use, and how to stay informed, available resources, a call to action for all of you, and then we'll have some time for Q&A as well. So I am going to hand it off to Tony to talk a little bit about the committee and the work group.
Sure. So Tony Furman, I'm Director of Employment and Training from Madison County. I also serve on the Apprenticeship Committee and chair the marketing work group of that committee. A little bit about the Apprenticeship Illinois Committee. It is one of 4 standing committees for the Illinois Workforce Innovation Board, the State Workforce Board. The Apprenticeship Committee is chaired by Daniel Sirota. He is a member of the IWIB, and his day job is that he's VP of Government Relations for AON. Other members of the committee are not appointed by the governor. They're chosen by the chair, invited. We've tried to look very much at the geographical split between the members to make sure all corners of the state are covered. Typically, we try to have 20 voting members. So the committee is focusing on 4 different main topics and areas. The biggest one is expanding apprenticeships both geographically and into new industries. So we've got a good base, but we're looking to expand at all time for apprenticeships number and also the number of different industries. Increase diversity, equity, and inclusion in all apprenticeship programs. That is a goal throughout. We want to formalize statewide apprenticeship coordination across all the different state agencies, across all the different regions of the state. We want everybody to be on the same board between agencies and organizations. That way, when we're working with employers, they're hearing the same message no matter which agency it is who's speaking with them. Then we want to grow statewide capacity. That way we can provide apprenticeship opportunities both to career seekers and to the business community. So the marketing work group, which I chair, has 2 main goals and roles. We want to educate various stakeholders and raise awareness on benefits of apprenticeships, and broader to that, even all the other work-based learning programs that are available to employers. Recently, in the last year, the focus has been on building that relationship with employers, and we've done three things to make that happen. We did a survey of employers earlier in the year. That was followed by a series of focus groups with employers. And then in the last several weeks, there's been some business roundtables as well in a couple locations throughout the state. All that is going to be put together into a strategic marketing plan that we can develop to work with employers to build those apprenticeships, to understand why employers who are using apprenticeships see a benefit and what the hesitation is for employers who have yet to jump on board. The other big piece that we do, somehow got assigned to us several years ago, is organize the events and marketing around National Apprenticeship Week, which we're going to discuss in more detail today. So you notice that there's less than 30 days until National Apprenticeship Week, which is November 17th through 23rd this year. So that 90 became 30 very quickly. as we all know. So, Kirsten, I'll send it back to you. Talk about the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, so this year is the 10th anniversary for National Apprenticeship Week, or AKA NAW, for an acronym. We are all state level people. We know there's an acronym for everything, right? So the 2024 theme is that we have had 10 years of engagement, expansion, and innovation. And National Apprenticeship Week was established in 2015, and it has had 10,000 events with more than 1.4 million people, and issues over 1,800 proclamations in support of registered apprenticeship. And that is since 2015. It has had that many events, 10,000 events. And then in 2015, there was 360,000 active apprentices. Now in 2024, we have 660,000 active apprentices, and those statistics are on the national level, so not just the state level, but the national level. Um, so I'm going to hand it back off over to Tony.
So Illinois has set the bar high the last couple years. Last year, we sort of killed the rest of the country, for lack of a better term. We were number one. We had over 23% of the proclamations and over 17% of the events for the nation. So it was 115 proclamations and 239 events. So over 350 combined events and proclamations, which put us a couple hundred ahead of the next state, which was Michigan. Kirsten, you're going to talk about some
Yeah.
of the events from last year.
Yeah, last year we had several webinars that were each day of National Apprenticeship Week. Monday, we had an apprentice signing ceremony at Heartland Community College. That was an in-person event. Tuesday, we had an inaugural apprenticeship ambassador cohort announcement. That was last year was our first year announcing for this year our apprentice ambassador cohort new program where we have an apprentice ambassador work group underneath the committee. And we recruit and put out for any apprentices that are across the state that want to be a part of the Apprentice Ambassador cohort. And so we just wrapped up getting those registrations or nominations, I guess, in for this year. So we will have a new cohort coming up for this year. Wednesday last year, we did a talent pipeline management webinar for the Chicago Apprentice Network event. We did a CJO webinar, and then we did highlighting our apprentice ambassadors and kind of who they were going to be, as well as a panel discussion last year. So we had lots of webinar and in-person events at the state level last year.
So far this year. So proclamations and events. So last year we set the bar high. This year we're going to destroy. So as of today, as of right now, we already have 123 proclamations and 191 events. So we're already over 300, and we're 3 weeks out from Apprenticeship Week, 4 weeks out. So I was going to say the goal this year is 500, but maybe the goal should be 1,000, right? So instead of 20%, let's shoot for 30, 40, or 50% of everything nationwide. So we need your help. I know you guys are all on here because you want to help. So some of the events going on this year, Kirsten?
Yeah, this year we are having a little bit less events because we want to focus on quality over quantity and really provide quality events for this year's National Apprenticeship Week. On November 12th, we're going to be having Nate Carlson from NIU and the Apprenticeship Illinois team has been doing a Lunch and Learn series. And so we are partnering with his series that he's been doing all fall. And we are going to have a Lunch and Learn from 12 to 1 on November 12th, which is the week right before National Apprenticeship Week. And so we will have that Lunch and Learn be National Apprenticeship Week specific. We'll talk a little bit about National Apprenticeship Week, and then we're going to showcase National Apprenticeship Week employers during that webinar. So make sure you register for that. We will make sure we send out registration links to all of this to anyone who's registered for today. We have all the emails for everyone. And then on November 18th, we will have our live stream So it will be a pre-recorded version of Cheryl Morris, who is the Apprentice Ambassador Work Group Chair, announcing the 2025 Apprentice Ambassador cohort and kind of giving a short bio about each one of those Apprentice Ambassadors. That will be a live streamed session on November 18th. We will be live streaming it via LinkedIn. So make sure you tune into that and follow Apprenticeship Illinois on LinkedIn if you don't already follow us. And then on November 21st, we are going to be joined by a couple different entities to talk about how to get more women into IT apprenticeships. So that will be on November 21st. We don't have a time for that yet, but we will very shortly. So we'll make sure to push out that information following today's webinar. And then on November 22nd, we will have a webinar highlighting Illinois apprentices. We're going to have a panel of the current apprentice ambassadors kind of talking about their stories, their past year that they've had being an apprentice ambassador. And quite a few of them have actually received scholarships to continue their education, or they've received promotions as well. So we're going to be highlighting that and just focusing on their successes that they've had this year being an apprentice ambassador for the state. So I'm going to hand it off to Kimberly now to kind of talk about the resources and all the tools that you guys will all have access to via our Apprenticeship Illinois website for National Apprenticeship Week.
Yeah, so on Apprenticeship Illinois, we added a new banner, and so with the 10th anniversary, it is fireworks. So whenever you click the banner, you'll be able to go to the National Apprenticeship Week 2024 page for Illinois. And so on the page, you're going to be able to find all the resources that have been compiled from the Department of Labor's Apprenticeship USA, also known as apprenticeship.gov. So we compiled the resources between Department of Labor, DOL, and Apprenticeship Illinois. And so you'll be able to find all the direct links. And so some of the type of resources you can find on Apprenticeship Illinois is the event calendar. So the event calendar is where you can find events. You can also add events. Adding events will increase your outreach. Whenever you add an event to Apprenticeship Illinois, it also is streamlined across the state's workforce portal. So it will also display on Illinois WorkNet, WIOA Works, BizHub, and then if any organizations use the embeddable widget for the event calendar tool, it'll also display on their websites. And so whenever we have the event, you can be able to search by your location or online, whatever kind of event you're looking for. The calendar has been filling up since September. So we are all about getting more events on there. So if you're hosting an event, or if you know of an event, feel free to send it our way or add it. It doesn't take much to add the event. It can be private or it can be open to the public. DOL is counting any events between September 1st through December 31st, 2024. That will count towards the state's numbers. As Tony was mentioning, we were #1 last year, and the last couple years we have been in the top 5. So we always, as like part of the Apprenticeship Illinois and Illinois WorkNet web staff, we add events that we have on the event calendar just to make sure that they get accounted for. So if you are having any trouble, we're always there to help. And other resources are going to be the proclamation templates. Whenever we talk about proclamations, you're not starting from scratch. They have city, state, industry, and education. DOL already put it together. It is pretty simple. You can add a logo, the signature, and your organization name and be able to input it. Then whenever it comes to submitting the proclamations, DOL has a submission form, and then whenever for Illinois, we just take it by email. And so all of that will be in the direct links. And so if you go to the next slide, we'll be able to see a little bit of more of the like resources. We also have a social media toolkit. So that'll include copy and paste content that's able to be used through all your social media channels. We have it meets all the text requirements. It'll include hashtags, links. Within that will also be graphics. This year we have a couple graphics that you'll be able to input your own logo or any of your information. And if you don't want to use that, then it'll still have the Apprenticeship Illinois logo, along with the NAW logo. Other logos that are available on the Apprenticeship Illinois page. So all the graphics are also sized for each of the social media channels. So all you have to do is copy and paste and save the information. Other information and resources available is through Apprenticeship USA has toolkits. So there's the fact sheet, event planning and promotion toolkit, a virtual event guide, mailers, editable flyers, and also success story tips. So on the Apprenticeship Illinois page, you'll be able to find all the links instead of having to go to multiple different pages. It'll all be in one area. So it's, like I said, we try to make it as simple as you can do. And so you don't have to reinvent the wheel by any means. We're here to save you time. And so for the next slide, it's going to show a little bit about like the events that you can see. So in November, you can see like what are some of the like dates that, especially the ones that have like more, you'll be able to click and see a full list. You can also look at it by days. In the next slide, we'll go into how to add events to Apprenticeship Illinois, which is also Illinois WorkNet. We have step-by-step instructions available on the website. So once you click the Add Event button, you'll see the required fields and it'll prompt you through. It takes under 2 minutes. If you have the event details, it takes about 30 seconds to do. You can copy and paste from a flyer, and you can also upload a flyer or any graphics that you have. And then whenever it comes to submitting, it will give a pop-up that says about 2 to 3 business days. But with National Apprenticeship Week, we are checking it every day. So, and if you have any questions, Illinois WorkNet or Apprenticeship Illinois, our general emails are always able to get access to. And then whenever it comes to getting in the events onto Apprenticeship USA, we have step-by-step instructions and the direct links. You'll just be able to click a button, then go to the direct links if you'd like to get your event on there to be able to be counted for the national totals. There's several different required fields, and like I said, you can have a public or a private event. So a lot of people didn't realize that you can add an event even though it isn't open to the public. They have those options. You can also have the options of like the intended audience. We always recommend adding the details into the description, especially if it's a private event. That way, just to prevent any confusion. And if you're looking at events on Apprenticeship USA and you see the email says apprenticeship@illinoisworknet.com, that's because our team added the event. So we might not be hosting the event, but we added the event to the DOL, and they will give a notification to the email once the event is added. And so creating and submitting proclamations to DOL is really easy with the ready-to-use templates. All you'll have to be able to do is navigate to the Apprenticeship USA. But like I said, we have the buttons on our NAW page. And if you see any events or proclamations that we don't have on Apprenticeship Illinois, feel free to reach out. We are always happy to help. We're here to answer any questions that you may have. Anything that you're wondering, we would rather make sure that we can get it answered and it can count towards the events and proclamations. Next slide.
All right, now we're going to hand it off to Tony.
So I will sort of piggyback on what Kimberly just said about proclamations. On the Apprenticeship Illinois website, there are 4 different templates for proclamations. There's a union one, an education one, government one, and industry. So no matter who you're working with, who you're dealing with, there's a template out there that can very easily be taken and have a company put in their logo and fill in a couple blanks and submit it. Like Kimberly said, it's probably a minute process. So the call to action, whoops, again, please share your events and proclamations with us. Get them on the Apprenticeship Illinois site. If you don't get them on the Apprenticeship USA site, we can get them from Illinois to USA. We need them. We want them. Again, we're over 300 already. 500's a goal. I would like to see much more than that. The dashboard and spreadsheets are shared weekly with the governor's office and the DCEO's director's office. That's starting this week. And then it'll be daily the week before National Apprenticeship Week, and I'm sure the week of National Apprenticeship Week. If you get things during National Apprenticeship Week, continue to add them even the week after. And we're going to be inviting officials from the state of Illinois, both agencies and possibly government, to participate and present proclamations at events. So we may be in touch with you if you're having an event in your area to have someone from the state level come, present a proclamation from the governor to your event. So be ready if you get a call to welcome someone, and be honored to receive that proclamation.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's all we have for you all today. We just wanted to really highlight all those resources that Kimberly and her team at Illinois WorkNet has worked so hard on. And then we wanted to just touch on the state events that are going to be coming up, and you're going to have more information. I did have a question that someone private messaged me in the chat asking when you were going to have access to this recording from today and the presentation slides. I will send this recording and presentation slides out right after this webinar. So as soon as we end it, it takes a couple minutes to convert, and I will get it on our YouTube channel and then send it out to all of you, as well as the slide deck. Any registration information for the upcoming events, for webinars. Some of them are linked on the slides. The ones that aren't out yet, I will make sure I send a follow-up email when we do get that information to everyone who's registered for today, and you can forward it along. Also, all of the estate events and information and registration links will be on the website. Kimberly's updating that constantly for us. She just went ahead and put the direct link to the National Apprenticeship Week website page in the chat for you all. And then also, I wanted to highlight that we are sending out information regarding National Apprenticeship Week through our Apprenticeship Illinois bulletin. So if you are not on our listserv for the bulletin, you do have to give us permission to send that to you and subscribe via email. So you can subscribe to that on the Apprenticeship Illinois website page. Kimberly, if you could put that direct link where they can subscribe in the chat, that'd be great. If you're not subscribed, or if you don't know if you're subscribed, you can go ahead and fill that out, and Kimberly and I will ensure that you are subscribed to the bulletin and that you're getting those. They go out on a monthly basis and have all the information. And so if anyone else has any questions, you can feel free to type them in the chat or unmute yourself, and we will be happy to answer them. Kimberly also went ahead and put her direct email in the chat, but they're also up here on the slides. You can reach out to any of us. Kimberly from Illinois WorkNet. She runs the website and social media for Apprenticeship Illinois. And then I am the Assistant Director of Communications at ICSPS at Illinois State University, and I'm the lead support on the marketing work group. Tony Furman is the chair on the marketing work group for the Apprenticeship Illinois Committee, and then Jennifer Foyle is also listening today, and she is the director for Apprenticeship Illinois. So you can reach out to any of us, and we would be happy to help you or answer your questions. But if anyone has any questions, you can feel free to unmute. Otherwise, we'll just go ahead and end early. Tony, did you have any final thoughts?
Remember, proclamations, easy, easy, easy. So we had 115 last year. We're already over that. So let's shoot for 250. How about?
All you got to do is send it my way. Even if you don't have enough time, we can definitely get it taken care of on Illinois and DOLs.
Awesome. Okay, I'm just getting lots of thank yous in the chat. People clapping their hands or emoji clapping their hands on their Zoom or hearting it. So I think we're good. I think we did a good job at presenting all the resources. Lots of thank yous. So I'll go ahead and close this out and we'll end early. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. And I will send the recording momentarily so you can forward it along or reference back to it if you need to. Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.